Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to go over one of my favorite exercises to hit the adductor magnus muscle as well as a variation of that movement. But first, if you find this video helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, comment, share, all that good stuff. Thank you so much. In this video we're going to hit the adductor magnus muscle, which runs along the inner thigh area of your leg. I'm not going to get into too much detail about why I feel this muscle is important. I did write a blog post. The link to that is in the description below, so you can check that out. Now, there are a number of great exercises that can hit this muscle, but my personal favorite is the seated good morning. It's being traditionally performed with a barbell. However, there are dumbbell variations as well as cables, bands, etc. We're going to stick with some dumbbell variations today. They're really versatile and they're a great place to start if you're uncomfortable using a barbell. Now, I really like this exercise because being seated gives you a lot of stability and it really allows you to focus on that hip hinge movement. So if you read the blog, then you know what the adductor muscle can do, which is another reason why I really like this movement, because here we're in a slightly straddled position. That's going to hit the adduction section of the muscle. We're also going to be hinging at the hip, so we're going to get our hip extension as well as flexion as we move up and down, and the ball and socket joint is rotating, creating that internal and external rotation as well, which are all movements of that adductor muscle. And as a bonus, this exercise is also really effective for your hamstrings and glutes. So you're going to start by parking yourself down on a bench. Where you sit on the bench, whether it's forward or back, doesn't matter too much. I'm going to sit a little bit farther back so that my dumbbells don't hit my foot pegs. From this seated position, you're going to straddle your legs a little bit to a width that's comfortable for your flexibility. Now we want to have the knees pointed the same direction as the feet throughout the movement, and we're going to start off by having those ankles or heels stacked just underneath of those knees. You can make this movement a little bit more advanced by opening up that knee joint a little bit and having those ankles ahead of the knee area. From this position, we want to be nice and tall through the crown of the head, creating that nice neutral spine. The other key thing is we want to open up our hips, thinking of using those glute muscles. So I'm not just throwing my knees out there, I'm squeezing open using my glute muscles. The next thing we want to do is press through the ground with the feet, and we want to think of hugging the ground. So we're creating all that tension through here. You're going to take those dumbbells, hold them on either side of the bench or in front of you, and from here, keeping nice and tall through the crown of your head and squeezing into the floor and hugging it, you're going to draw yourself down just as deep as you're comfortable with. So if you start to feel that lower back round and you're losing that neutral spine, that's a little too far for you, you can ease out of that. So the range of motion can be very short to begin with, or if you have that flexibility and your knees aren't rolling in as you're drawing forward, you can sink all the way down to the ground and then squeeze back up. As I'm hinging down, I'm thinking of leading with my abdominal muscles to maintain that neutral spine. As I squeeze back up to that top position, I'm pressing through the floor, hugging it, using my adductor muscles, hamstrings and glutes to hinge me back up to that top position. Now the thing is that you have two adductor magnus muscles and they probably aren't evenly matched when it comes to strength or flexibility. So I'm going to share with you this variation of the seated good morning that makes it a little bit more unilateral or semi-unilateral. So we're once again going to start in a seated position on the bench, except this time I'm going to elevate one leg and keep it straight. And to keep my heel off the edge so that I have that full leg contact with the bench, it's going to give me a little bit more stability and feedback. Once again, you're going to straddle that position to whatever level is comfortable with you on the leg that's bent. Again, you can have that ankle stacked underneath the knee or a little bit ahead of it. Whatever's going to work best for you. As I'm hinging from this position, I'm still going to go down the midline area, so I'm not swaying to one side or the other. We're going to keep those cues the same. So again, I'm using my glutes to keep my legs open. I want to keep the knee in line with the same foot is pointed on that leg, and I want to try to keep that knee pointed up towards the ceiling as best as I can as I hinge from here. So I'm going to stay nice, long, and tall through the crown of my head as I start to hinge forward, thinking of leading with my abdominal muscles as I'm hinging down to whatever level you're comfortable with. And again, pressing through the bench with that straight leg, pressing through the ground and hugging with the opposite side to draw yourself back up to that top position. And it's just as simple as that. Now this is an exercise you're going to want to start off with some lighter weights and slowly build into a heavier load. Take your time and be patient with escalating this movement. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and thank you so much for watching.